Yeah. You ain't gotta cry no more. I promise that I got you and that's on my soul. Double checking for the weakest, man, that's all I know. I remember bagging up at that corner store, but now we blowing smoke. And that's all I know. Yeah, at that PLO.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Top BUXAPLENTY here, checking in with the BUXAPLENTY gang. You know, we're gonna get straight into the video. I ain't gonna hold y'all too longer. I appreciate everybody that's tuning into my videos, watching my reactions. Like I said in the comments, drop in the comments right now what y'all want me to react to, and I'll make sure that I try to react to what y'all want me to react to. You feel me? I'm bringing the content for y'all, but like I said, we ain't ever going nowhere. BUXAPLENTY gonna always be here. So if y'all, even if y'all don't give me no content, you feel me, I'm still gonna be here. But we about to get straight into this video. So basically, we got the car that's uncatchable, and this is basically like the evolution of how cars was and cars that can't be catch from before to now. So we about to get straight into the video and we about to see what's going on right now.
250,000. That's the number of high-speed police pursuits that occur every year in the United States.
Damn.
No other country on earth comes even remotely close.
250,000 per year is crazy. I know the year of 2023, it was over. I know that increased. It was probably like 500K, to be honest. Okay. This looks like a game.
According to the California Highway Patrol, only 57.6% of the fleeing suspects were apprehended, leaving 42.4% of suspects to successfully evade arrest, and that number is only growing. A huge contributing factor to these successful high-speed evasions is the ever-increasing gap of outright top speed and performance of suspect vehicles.
870 horsepower. That's probably the Red Eye or something, the Demon. I don't know, but sheesh.
When compared to the run-of-the-mill patrol vehicle. There's a common theme amongst these seemingly uncatchable cars, though, a sort of recipe that makes them an absolute pain for law enforcement to catch.
Yo, that's the infamous black Hellcat. The cops been chasing this guy for years. They could not catch him. He still didn't get caught to this day. Like, what, 2022? And he's still doing it to this day. Like, bro, it's crazy. Infamous Hellcat. He gone.
These ingredients don't consist of an ostentatious bright red Ferrari. Rather, the best getaway cars are those that can balance brutal acceleration, ridiculous top speed, and inconspicuous looks that only a trained eye can distinguish from a normal commuter. And they even have a name for it thanks to the British, who almost banned their very existence.
Damn.
On this episode of Explained, sponsored by Surfshark, we will take a deep dive into the rise of the super saloon and how it became.
That car to the left look like a BMW. What's a Locust or Lotus, whatever it said? What's that? I never heard of that car. But basically, this is from before to now. Like, the cars that's uncatchable from now is the Dodge. We know that. The Charger, the Dodge. Some of them do get caught if you got the Scat Pack, but you know, some of these SRTs are not getting caught. And then we got the Lotus or whatever it's called.
The preferred method to evading authorities around the world. Historically, where you find organized crime, you will also find fast automobiles used to evade authorities. The 18th Amendment of the United States Constitution, which began the Prohibition era of the 20s and early 30s, made the manufacturing, sale, and transportation of intoxicating liquors illegal, which gave rise to bootleggers who transported moonshine from rural parts of Appalachia and imported liquors from Canada with hot-rodded vehicles to evade law enforcement. Their specialty was the Ford Model 18, which was more expensive and nearly identical to the Ford Model B used by law enforcement, but ditched the meager 50 horsepower inline four-cylinder for a flathead V8 that produced a healthier 65 horsepower and later up to 85 horsepower.
You see how slow them cars are from then to now? 68 horsepower is crazy. Like, where you going with that? But that's faster than the cop cars we see. And I ain't gonna lie, if you got one of these cars now, I know that joint, it goes for a lot right now. Like you can, and those cars is made better. All the cars nowadays is made out of plastic or something. All those is like real cars. Like those, they raised stronger and durable.
According to bootleggers at the time, it was fast enough to stay one step ahead of the law, rugged enough for the mountain roads, and had a big enough trunk and back seat to squeeze in moonshine. This clear advantage of power, cargo space, and durability, combined with a skilled driver, made the Ford Model 18 the desired getaway car amongst moonshiners and bootleggers,
I want to drive
even
it.
bank robbers like Bonnie and Clyde. This recipe of a bare-bones four-door sedan with a higher output power plant, a heavy-duty suspension, and braking components would be emulated by Ford and Chevrolet into police packages and sold directly to departments across the country.
125 horsepower V8. They had this back in 1950, bro. A 125 horsepower V8. That's crazy,
The
bro.
1954 two-door and four-door, for example, was offered with a police package that included an exclusive engine, the Interceptor engine, with more displacement than the standard flathead V8. The clutch, the alternator, the oil pan, the battery, and even the tires were beefed up to withstand 24-hour duty and became a hit amongst veteran drivers and police officials.
Yeah, that's
By
crazy.
1956, General Motors and the Chrysler Corporation would follow suit, offering specialized police equipment packages, and sparked an unofficial arms race across the big three to build faster and faster police cars.
Now the issue is, I feel like police always had the slower advantage is because they don't like to put a lot of money into their cars. If they would actually focus on paying more money into their cars, they would have the fastest car, but they don't want to do that, and people got money, you feel me? So they gonna buy the fastest car, and then y'all can't catch them.
Dodge would end the arms race with their own super saloon disguised as a police car in 1968, the Dodge Polara Pursuit. These were ordered
ugly.
by the California Highway Patrol with the E86 engine code, which meant the 440 cubic inch wedge V8, a 4-barrel carburetor, a special camshaft
375
grind, dual
horsepower.
exhaust, and 375 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. The
That's crazy.
3.23 rear axle ratio hindered some acceleration performance, but gave the Polara Pursuit a 149
Bro, nowadays 0 to 60 people's hitting at less than 1 second. Like that joint is crazy.
9.6 mile per hour top speed, which was recorded at Chrysler's test facility in Chelsea, Michigan. The 440 wedge wasn't the most powerful offering from Chrysler. That would have been the NASCAR
Yeah,
winning 426 Hemi, but the 440 Magnum wedge combined with the lower axle ratio meant even the most powerful muscle cars at the time couldn't outrun the Polara speed capabilities.
Look, them cars are more durable.
This philosophy of brutally fast and high-tech for the time police cruisers wasn't adopted universally around the world, especially in the United Kingdom. British police cars were smaller.
Once them British cars and all them foreign cars started getting made, it was over. If you get your hand on that and bring it to the US around that time, it's over, and it's just the same way now.
More nimble and less elaborately equipped than their American counterparts, and preferred manual gearboxes versus the slushy automatics.
Occasionally, though, a special car is needed for a special job. Bedfordshire decided the only weapon to win the joyriding war was the 150-mile-an-hour Cosworth Sierra.
That car
The
look
narrow
nice.
British roads, combined with the parking space limitations and higher tax on fuel, made the American recipe of a big V8 four-door patrol car unideal for police work. That would all change with the rise of super saloons in Europe.
Got the
BMW
foreign now.
had their E34 chassis code M5.
BMW. And you know what's a problem today? BMWs. Like, it's crazy.
Hand assembly
These SRTs, Hellcats, all of them is getting smoked by BMWs right now. So if you think the Hellcat SRTs are all as the fastest car, no, all you need is a BMW, tune it up, you got the fastest car in the world.
saloon born in BMW's motorsports facility outside of Munich and powered by a dual overhead cam naturally aspirated inline 6
It
with
had
individual
M5s back
throttle
then?
bodies and north of 300 horsepower.
That's crazy.
Mercedes had their wolf in sheep's clothing with the 500E, which was also hand-built and co-engineered with Porsche and was propelled by a 5-liter dual overhead cam V8 designated as the M119.
I ain't gonna lie, I prefer a BMW over a Mercedes, but the AMG though, you get best of both worlds though. I ain't gonna lie, and it's probably more reliable than a BMW. Oh my god.
Pursuits were stolen at alarming rates, and they became the tool of choice for jewelry heists and ram raids across Britain in the 90s. One specific model became literally uncatchable by authorities, and it wasn't a BMW nor a Mercedes, rather an amalgamation between General Motors and their recently acquired Lotus Engineering, known as the Type 104, or better known as the Lotus Carlton. These cars began as a 3000 GSI Vauxhall Carlton or Opel Omega off the production line and shipped to Lotus Engineering to be intensely modified.
Wait, time out though. Is this still a brand that's still making cars to this day? Like, I never heard of this brand. What is a Lotus? I'm so confused. I gotta do my research right after this video.
The inline 6 received a longer stroke forged steel crankshaft, increasing the displacement from 3 liters to 3.6 liters, and ditched the natural aspiration for twin Garrett T25 turbochargers. The forged moly pistons reduced compression from 10.0 to 1 down to 8.2 to 1 to account for the increased cylinder pressure since it was now boosted. The output increased from an already healthy 201 brake horsepower up to 377 brake horsepower.
Whoever had this knowledge around that time, crazy, because look what you started now.
It had wider fenders and bodywork, enormous ventilated disc brakes, a limited slip differential, and only offered with a 6-speed manual from the Lotus engineered ZR1
Daytona.
Corvette. The car wasn't made famous by its Ferrari Testarossa-like speed or Porsche 911 Turbo rivaling technology, but rather a gang of ram raiders making a fool out of police in a stolen Imperial Green example. It was stolen on November 26, 1993 from a home in Worcestershire with the registration plate 40RA, and over the course of months was involved in multiple robberies totaling 20,000 British pounds in merchandise, and it couldn't be caught since the Austin Maestro Panda cars used by the police topped at 90 miles per hour.
Yo, imagine being a cop driving a 90 mile per hour car, and these people driving 300 and something miles per hour already. And this is back then, like years ago. That's
the Lotus
crazy,
Carlton
bro.
could achieve 177 miles per hour on the M6 motorway.
177?
The Lotus Carlton was simply uncatchable, untouchable, and unprecedented.
Bro, a lot of new cars now, I'm not even gonna say new cars, I'm capping, but a lot of people in this modern day cars don't hit 177. So that's crazy that they had it before and people can't still do it now.
Well, almost uncatchable. See, while many say the 40RA was never caught, it actually was in January '94 by passerby spotting it in a canal with its dark green paint and a caved-in roof and the registration plate 40RA. The leading publication at the time, the Daily Mail, and even British Parliament condemned the car and called for its banishment in Britain. But luckily it was so expensive and sold so poorly that it would be discontinued before it could be sent to the shadow realm.
People had money back then.
Similar to the infamous Lotus Carlton of the 90s, today's sponsor Surfshark can make you literally uncatchable. An explosion in the late 90s to early 2000s was slow to reach American manufacturers. Body on frame, solid rear axle, high-performance sedans like the Impala SS with its Corvette LT1 small block were essentially a 9C1 Chevy Caprice police car in civilian attire.
All right,
the Mercury Marauder and its more sophisticated dual rear cam modular V8 from the Mustang Mach-1 was a more impressive version of the Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, but still very reminiscent of its police car DNA. They didn't outclass their law enforcement counterparts by much of a margin, not until Dodge would reintroduce the Charger in 2006 on the Chrysler LX chassis. Law enforcement agencies quickly flocked to the Charger Pursuit package as it was more stable at high speeds than the Crown Victoria or Caprice.
All right, so they started getting the Dodge around 2006 or whatever it said, but all right, now I see why they drive the Dodges now.
Given its Mercedes E-Class engineered independent rear suspension,
but they got the slowest one.
Offered a 5.7-liter Gen 3 Hemi V8 from the Road and Track or RT trim of the civilian Charger that made 340 horsepower, and a Mercedes 5-speed automatic, which gave it a 150 mile per hour top speed, finally eclipsing the 1969 Polara Pursuit.
That's the same speed limit that they got now. What is the, I ain't gonna lie, like I ain't like on a side, but what is the police doing? Y'all still do the same amount of speed. Y'all don't go faster than that.
After nearly 4 decades. Alongside the road and track-based Pursuit, the SRT8 or Street and Racing Technology variant was available to the civilian market only. which completely outclassed the Pursuit Charger.
Nah.
The 6.1-liter Hemi was in essence a hot-rodded 5.7-liter Hemi with a laundry list of upgrades, like its stronger cast iron block, larger bore diameter, a forged steel crankshaft, higher compression from 9.6 up to 10.2 to 1, more aggressive camshaft grind, and cylinder heads that flowed exceptionally for a pushrod design. The new Hemi power plant gave 85 more reasons why it was the go-to super saloon, and thieves would quickly catch on.
I know, I feel like, the SRTs nowadays is crazy, but I know if you take one of them SRTs and you soup it up, you tune it, it'd be the fastest car. Now, I ain't gonna lie, but you see how Dodge knew what they was doing when they did that, but it's the police fault. They wanted to buy a package of cars, so they went for the cheapest one. So they made the fastest ones for the public, you feel me? Why not?
Older cars before the mid-90s were commonly the victim of thieves, since the only anti-theft system was door locks and a keyed ignition lock cylinder. Thieves would bypass the ignition lock cylinder and complete the circuit to the ignition, giving power to the ECU and the starter motor without the need of a key. Newer cars like the SRT8 Charger have a transponder in the key that is coded specifically to the car's anti-theft computer. Even if the car is hot-wired, the anti-theft computer locks the ECU from firing the injectors and spark plugs, rendering the car unstartable and useless.
Yo, I heard that pusher starts messed it up now. Like, people call, like, if you don't got a kill switch, some type of alarm, security alarm that syncs to your phone and stuff, like, none of this even matters anymore. Like, if you have a key, they still getting in. If you have a pusher start, they still getting in. You just need a kill switch. That's the only way for somebody not to steal your car, because people was walking around with antennas transmitting your key to the car. Like, how?
Eliminated random low-level thefts, but then became a target for specialized criminals who knew how to exploit the security system. Thieves would carry blank uncoded keys and key programming computers. From there, they would program a new key after entering the special security code, and within a minute or so, they were off with the SRT8.
Some people have nothing to do in life but think about stuff like this. People just get advanced and advanced, like.
According to the National Insurance Crime Bureau, the most popular model year of Charger thefts were the 2006, the first model year that came out, and police pursuits began to rise as criminals are more likely to evade police than giving up, especially while already in a stolen vehicle.
Charger was never found.
The supremacy of the Charger as the go-to getaway car would only get more and more ingrained as the years progressed.
It has supercharged. It's the only reason why I would buy the car is just for that whining sound. Just to hear that, I want to hear it. Like,
the SRT engines got consistently more powerful, going from a 6.1
like 800 miles per hour
to a
now.
6.4-liter Hemi. Even higher trim models like the Hellcat introduced a 6.2-liter Hemi with a 2.4-liter twin-screw supercharger, making 707 horsepower, and later getting a bigger 2.7-liter supercharger and 797 horsepower. All the while, the Pursuit Charger kept the standard 5.7-liter Hemi, and while it did get
it cannot catch any car unless the person don't know how to drive. But that's their fault, because they want to spend the least amount of money.
Power bump from 340 to 370 horsepower, it was completely outclassed by the SRT variants used by getaway drivers.
Now though, they upgraded. I heard they starting to drop SRTs and Hellcat. So y'all be careful out there. I heard probably Florida or something got those already. There's no point in chasing. He out. He's gone.
Another overlooked quality of the Charger was that the V6 GT trim, a 5.7-liter Daytona, a 6.4-liter Scat Pack, a 2.2-liter supercharged Hellcat, and even the 800 horsepower Red Eye looked identical, helping them blend in with similar traffic and much harder to apprehend if law enforcement ever lost the line of sight. These advantages would be exploited to monumental proportions in an infamous black Dodge Charger.
Yo, did it not just say that? The infamous black Charger, they could not catch him to this day. Like, it's crazy. I watched all the videos already. I should have done my reactions on it. I watched all the video. It's so many videos of this guy just escaping. Like, why y'all still chasing him?
May of 2022.
Once he black out, it's over.
Trooper Jacob Bird began pursuit of a black Dodge Charger
This is 2020.
that was speeding in a residential neighborhood in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Well, 2022.
And as soon as the chase began, it was over. The Charger was gone. 45 minutes later, it was spotted by Trooper Alan Johnson a couple miles east on the Wilbur D. Mills Freeway and would escape again. 3 months later in August, Trooper Spencer Morris spotted the Charger racing down the highway on the Tennessee-Arkansas border, but the Charger blacked out its taillights and the skilled driver got away once more.
37.
Look, he disappears off our screen through our eyes. He on the left lane, you can see him, but he's gone.
He's blacked out.
He's gone. You can't see him no more. He's
gone. A
month
later, on September 4th, Trooper Quincy Harris tried chasing the infamous Charger in south of Little Rock, Arkansas, but was dusted as soon as it started. Suspecting the Charger, even though it's cladded in RT trim, it most likely had a modified Hemi engine or could even be an SRT Hellcat with RT body cladding to fool the police.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I give it to that driver. He got the will. For somebody to move a big boat like that, he got the will. He got the will. What are you still speeding for? He's gone. He probably already busted left or right already. He's gone. That's crazy, bro.
2 weeks later, on the same highway as the second pursuit in May, the black Charger would toy with the police, purposefully pulling over for a traffic stop, and as soon as Trooper Monte Hernandez touched the back of the car, he was gone.
I watched this video too. Why you dare to chase him? But that's the thing though, like he said, all the generations of Dodge, like from the Hellcat to the Scat to the whatever, you know what I mean? They all look the same, so you don't know which one you're running into. You might be able to catch the Daytona or whatever, but you don't know that's a SRT, and people starting to remove the badges too. So now it looks like a regular Dodge, and you think you about to catch them until you hit that supercharge. You be like, yeah, like he one of them. You feel me? One of them. He's gone. Before you, soon as he got in the car, sun is already out the view. He's gone. What are you chasing him for? You were just making the road more dangerous. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Evolution of cars it's crazy. Dodge knew what they was doing. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna cry because they really ending this year. Like, this is the last year. They probably already done. Like, they probably already sold their last call. Like I said, we have Porsche, BMW, we have foreign, so it really don't even matter about none of these cars anymore. I wanted one, but it don't matter. Give me a BMW or a Porsche. Not to do this though, you feel me? But talking about just have a fast car.
14 chases later, and even a recent encounter in October of 2023, this Charger hasn't been caught and probably never will.
Never.
The blackout Charger is in essence America's RA40 Lotus Carlton, a car that was uncatchable for its era, and getting within 100 feet of it is because the driver let you. Both were built on very common saloons of their time.
That's crazy, bro.
One modified by Lotus Engineering to be the world's fastest saloon, and one most likely modified in his garage to evade law enforcement for shits and giggles.
And that's a fact that both of these, that's the big comparison right there. Both of these cars are fast for their time. Like, that Lotus, it was years ago, you feel me? It was mad fast. Like, how was that car so fast to a modern day car today? And then the SRT is just that's gonna be as fast as a car in the future, you feel me? Like, of course there's other cars out there, foreigns and all this other stuff that could be fast as this car now, but it's above its time, you know what I mean? Like, these cars are too fast.
While the RA40 Carlton's legendary existence came to an end in 1994, the blackout Charger is still alive, and there's no telling if the next black Charger with a loud exhaust you see is just an average Mopar enthusiast or the infamous
might be him.
Charger.
Fact.
And
but that was the end of the video. I hope you like this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I ain't gonna lie, like, watching this video just really shows me how fast and how smart people are when it comes down to these cars. Like, these cars is really ahead of the future. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, how was that Lotus already hitting 170 miles per hour while the cops still only had, what, 90 horsepowers? How, bro? It's the foreign people, though. A Dodge is an American car. That's the reason why it's done for, you feel me? It's over. But that Lotus was a foreign car, I think. So it's just like, it's way ahead of its time. But like I said, I hope you like this video. Y'all stay safe out here. This is just a video. Y'all don't go out there running from these cops because you got a fast car. None of that. It's pointless. It's stupid. Just don't speed. You feel me? Just don't get yourself involved in none of this BS. You feel me? Because you might get caught. You might not be one of these drivers. These are skilled drivers. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And the video's over.